So once again, I extend a very warm welcome to all those who have joined the session. It gives me an immense pleasure to be helping you today. So today through this virtual workshop, we'll be getting to know how you can manage all your orders, be it offline or online, and take a very good care of your inventory stock levels with the help of our amazing application called Zoho Inventory. So before we start this particular session, make sure that you have signed into your Zoho account and you can open inventory.zoho.com. You can open your Zoho inventory organization. Please keep in mind the fact that you might need the admin privilege access to access certain modules of Zoho inventory. If you're not an administrator, you can quickly contact your administrator and make sure that you have unrestricted access to all the features and functionalities. So this would be today's agenda. So we would be starting off with the introduction to Zoho Inventory, the features and functionalities, what Zoho Inventory can offer you with. You can get to know all the features and functionalities, the provisions present in Zoho Inventory, the workflow with which you can follow, all the methodology. We would be having a quick and brief introduction, followed by which there would be a hands-on experience, a hands-on session wherein I would be walking you through the process. I would be reciting you the steps. You can just have them replicated in your end. You can try creating the transaction by yourself. I'm pretty sure that you would get a very good enlightenment on how to do things and how to achieve your exact business process with the help of Zoho Inventory. And finally, we would be ending up with a quick recap session. I'll give you a quick walkthrough, a quick revision of all the things that we were discussing in this session. So what is Zoho Inventory? Zoho Inventory is a cloud-based inventory management application that helps businesses of all sizes streamline their inventory and order management processes. You might be a small-scale manufacturer. You might have a brick-and-mortar store selling electronics, pharmaceutical products, food and beverages. You might be a medium business scale. So all kinds of businesses, you can adopt your business process, inventory management and order management through Zoho Inventory. And if you have an online store, which might be hosted in Shopify or any other as application online WooCommerce stores, Zoho Inventory will be of very great help to you. You can really count on Zoho Inventory to have all your orders processed, and you can have this process done and dusted in a short span of time. I would say these are the 6 features that would stand out from the rest of the application. These are the perquisites that you would be getting if you would be getting onboarded into Zoho Inventory. We have very good inventory control features. So you can fluctuate your stocks, addition or deduction of stocks, movement of stocks between multiple locations, or be it drop shipment or back ordering. Inventory control is done to the optimal level in Zoho Inventory, and order fulfillment and order management, right from the purchase till the sales is done. You can have each and every single step monitored carefully and closely with the help of Zoho Inventory. And multi-location management. So this, I can proudly say that this would be the best feature of Zoho Inventory. You can have all physical locations created with the Zoho Inventory. Maybe if you have a physical location, maybe a godown or maybe a warehouse or maybe a brick and mortar store, and if you would be shuffling your stocks between these locations, maybe if you move stocks from location A to location B, from location B to C. So multi-location management is handled in a very comprehensive manner. You can even assign dedicated users as per this physical location. So this would be the best way to handle all your stocks. And barcode scanning and generation. So you can have a Zoho Inventory logged in and kept as your storefront. Maybe you can even use this as a substitute for your POS solution. You can just take the product in your hand, scan the barcode. Zoho Inventory would instantly recognize the item that is being scanned, and you can save a lot of time. So a huge chunk of time would be saved, and you can instantly create sales and purchase transaction item adjustments with the help of a barcode scanner. So all you will need is a barcode scanner that is connected to Zoho Inventory, and Zoho Inventory would take care of the rest. And insightful reports. We have a huge armada of sales reports, purchase reports, inventory stock reports. So these should give you a very good idea, and all the statistics and figures would be present under these reports, and you should have a very good picture on them. So today we would be taking into account Linity's cameras, a real-time use case scenario. So Miss Gina Linity would be responsible for Linity's cameras. She usually she sells camera units, which is a composition of two individual items. So the camera would have two individual units, a battery and a main camera unit. So the camera unit has serial numbers associated with them so that you can track each and every individual unit, to which customer it has reached, from which vendor it was being purchased. So all those individual stock movement can also be tracked in an insightful manner with the help of the serial number tracking functionality in Zoho Inventory. So all we would be dealing today is main composite item. That is what we refer to in Zoho Inventory, a main camera bundle which consists of two individual units put together and then sold as a single unit to all your customers. So this would be the basic flow diagram of the camera business that I mentioned in the previous screen. It all starts with a purchase process. So Gina Linity would place a purchase order with a vendor. She would purchase the battery and the individual camera units, and then she would receive it physically. She would put it into her main storage godown. So her physical store, it might be in Dubai, and her storage location, it might be in South Africa. So she might receive the products in a warehouse, and then she can move them into her retail brick and mortar store. So she can move it to her retail store location with the help of transfer orders. And once the products is more products are moved to the physical retail location, and when a customer approaches Gina for a sale, she would initiate a sales order. She would bundle the battery and the individual camera units into a single units. So she'll be coupling them up, and then she would pack it, and then comes the shipment process. So she might use a local shipment provider to have all her shipments done, or maybe she might have integrations with major players such as UPS, FedEx, DHL. And finally, the sale process would be done and dusted once it gets delivered to the customer's place. So you will have a very good account, an inch by inch tracking of where the product is currently at. So you can even track the exact physical whereabout location, and that would be it. So this would be the basic setup or the basic prerequisites that you would be needing before you start creating your sales transactions and purchase transactions within Zoho Inventory. So the first one would be the setting up of your organizational profile. I'll just quickly show how you can set it up in Zoho Inventory. You can just click on the settings icon on the top right corner and then click on organizational profile. You can upload your business logo. You can give the organization name, the business location, followed by the company address. And all the other information would be mentioned in this particular screen. This information would be present in all the transactions that you raise towards your customer. And then comes the location definition. So we have considered that Gina Linetti here would have two locations. One, the warehouse where she would receive all the physical stock, and the another retail store where she would be selling all the products directly to her customer. So she might, we can consider the retail store to be the showroom. You can go to settings. And you can click on warehouses. You can click on the plus new warehouse. You can give the warehouse a name here, the address and everything. So all the physical details of the address of the warehouse can be mentioned here. You can save and continue. So the number of warehouses that you can create, it depends upon the subscription that you subscribe to. Followed by that would be the definition of products, the products that you sell. So the individual items that you sell can be created under the products module. So I'll quickly show you how you can create a product or an item within Zoho Inventory. So for that, you can choose the organization, and then you will be going to the left pane wherein you will be selecting the items module. So this is where you would be defining the items. Click on items and click on this plus icon. It quickly takes you to the screen where you can create the items. I have already created another item with camera, the battery of the particular camera. So we'll just create the individual camera unit. So you just give it the name as you give this an SKU or the stock keeping unit. The unit of measurement, be it unit, pieces, boxes, grams, kilograms, meters, whatever rolls, whatever may be the unit of measurement, you can just type that over here and it would be saved for future selections. You just select the unit of measurement here. Mention the selling price, purchase price. So if you want to track inventory for this item, which you would obviously want to, so select this checkbox and then enable track serial number. And then you can hit on save. You can also associate item images so that you can have a catalog view displayed to all your customers when they would visit your store. And this image can also be made to be available in your final transactional documents. Hit on save. Perfect. So now I have created all the two individual units. You can create them through this individual item module, the camera battery and the individual camera unit. So we have just defined the system about all the information that would be associated to these two units. Next up would be the creation of composite items. This is the main module which would help you in creating assemblies. So maybe if you create with combination of combo products, or maybe two to three items put together, or maybe 2 to 3 raw materials put together to form a final composite item, or maybe if you have a manufacturing business which would involve the combination of multiple raw materials, you can use this composite item module. So I'll let you know how you can create this. Go to composite items. You can either click on this icon or the plus new icon on the top right corner. Give this the name. And then I'll have to select the items that goes into the making up of this particular composite item. So if it's 1 unit of camera battery and 1 unit of this camera unit, I'll mention that over here. You can copy the total from this particular box by clicking on this copy from total. Or maybe if it's another value, you can manually feed this value into this particular field all by yourself. So now I've assigned the selling price of this final bundle to be 460 dirhams. I can even maybe change it to 500. Scroll down and then I'll hit on save. So the composite item has now been created. I'll just give you a quick recap on what was done. We created 2 individual items through the individual items module, and then we went to the composite items module and created the final assembly. That would be it. Next up would be the definition of customer and vendor contacts. So you would be dealing with multiple customers to whom you would sell, and there would be a single vendor or multiple vendor from whom you would be stocking up your products. You'll have to define the system about this information. For that, you can use the customers module or the vendors module on the left pane. I'll show you how you can quickly create a customer. So you can click on the customers option on the left pane, click on the plus new button, and you can just mention the name of the customer. And then the tax treatment. So if he would be VAT registered, maybe if he's from the United Arab Emirates region, you can just apply the or associate the VAT treatment here. And then the place of supply, and followed by the currency. You can mention his address, all these details over here. And if it's a huge organization with multiple contact persons coming under it, you can mention all the name of the contact persons and their email addresses. So if you would be dealing business with a huge organization, and if there is a sales department, purchase department, a specific logistics department, you can add all of their details to this particular contact person. So you can mention the organization name as the contact display name, mention all the subsidiary information through these fields. You can select the customer type radio button over here. And let us assume you might do business with with a person from another foreign territory. So you might be from South Africa. You might sell your products to people in the European region. Someone might be from Canada. Someone might be from the Great Britain, or someone might be from India. So you can select the base currency with which you would be doing business with them. So if it's the Indian rupee, you click on rupees, or if it's dollars, you can mention the dollar here. So what Zoho Inventory would do is it would automatically convert the base selling price as per the currency with which you would be doing business with your customers. So we have integration with online exchange rate feeds. So on the authentic exchange rate feed would be refreshed each and every day. So the transactions would get automatically updated, and all the transactions that you raise towards that foreign customer would follow the desired base currency that you have selected here. So you needn't worry about that. So you can definitely associate foreign currencies with your contacts. It happens the same for your vendors. So this procedure is applicable to both your customer and vendor. So you can follow the same for all your vendors too. So the same, you can mention the name, you can mention the address, the contact persons, and everything. So now we have set all the basic things that are needed to get started with Zoho Inventory. We mentioned details about the organization. We mentioned the details about the locations that we would be dealing with, the warehouses and the retail store. We set up the products, and then we did the customer and vendor contact setup. So the methodology that I'm going to tell you after in the next few slides, it would be the same for both your offline and your online sales. So you might have your stores hosted in Shopify, WooCommerce, Etsy, or Zoho Commerce. So it is applicable. The same is applicable to all these. So now there's a quick task for you. So I'll just give you a couple of minutes time. You can just try recreating whatever I mentioned in the previous slides. So you can go through Zoho Inventory now, try creating items and vendor and customer contacts. You can just open the respective module, click on the plus new option on the top right corner, and you can just feed in all the desired information and then click on save. And if a particular field is red colored, or if it's highlighted in red, you can just note that down as a mandatory field. So you'll definitely have to feed some information into that field and then click on save. If you feel that the fields are preliminary, you might need additional fields to receive additional information, complex information. You can always create custom fields. So there's no limit to that. You can create custom fields under the settings, and then you can enter your desired information. So please take your own time. And in the meanwhile, if you stumble upon any issues or doubts, please do mention that in the questions tab, and our agents would contact you and help you with it. So I hope you have had ample time in creating this particular item, vendor and customer contact. So I'll just move on to the next module quickly. So it would be purchases. So how does Gina manage all her purchases? So Gina doesn't have any stocks with her as of now. All she did was create the items and then create customers and vendors. So she still does not have any stocks with her yet. So to begin with her business, she will definitely have to stock up her warehouse and then move the stocks from the warehouse to a retail store and then bundle it and then sell it. So how does she do that? So what she would do is she would begin with a preliminary purchase order. So it's just a preliminary statement wherein you request your vendor about the products that you would want to buy, the quantity, the price for which you would expect to buy, and the expected shipment date. So if you would need it in the next 10 days, you can mention that there over there. So you would raise an initial purchase order to that particular vendor. So then submit it, or you can send an email, a digital copy of that purchase order as an email to your vendor. Wait for the products to receive you. So once your vendor is sending out the products to you, once you have physically received it, you will be creating a purchase receipt. So the physical stock level of your of the particular item in your inventory will go up. And then all you will need to do is just create a bill. So since you owe him an amount of money, you just create a bill. You pay him the amount for this particular purchase that you've done, and then you just mention the payment that you've done. That would be it. So you will be starting off with an initial purchase order, convert it into a purchase receipt, and then create a bill to keep a good track of the overbills, and then seal the deal with payments made. That would be it. So I'll just quickly show you how you can have these done. You can go to the purchase order module, which is again present beneath the vendor module in the left pane, and then create a new purchase order. Select a vendor name. Select the warehouse to which you would want to receive. So here I'm going to receive it into my spares and stocked warehouse. So I'm selecting that particular warehouse, and you can also deliver it directly to your customer. So maybe if you would be doing drop shipments, if you're a drop shipment specialist, so if you specifically do it, if you operate out of drop shipments, you can also select it to be directly delivered to your customer. So in this case, I'm selecting the warehouse name to which it has to be delivered. The purchase order number is automatically generated. It should follow a particular sequence. You can also add them manually each and every time. And then the date at which it was being created and the expected delivery date. And if you have a specific shipment preference, you can just type that over here. And then select the item that you're going to purchase. So now I'm going to purchase the individual battery units and the camera units. So I'm going to tell them that I would need 10 units each. And this is the rate for which I would expect it to be delivered to me. And if there is any customer notes or if there is any terms and conditions, you can mention that here. And you can also upload additional files. Maybe if there is a blueprint copy, or maybe if there is a design file, or maybe if there is an image file that you would need to attach alongside this particular purchase order, you can mention that over here through this particular provision, and then you will hit on save. So the PO has successfully been drafted. So this is the skeleton view of the purchase order that we've created. So to view the PDF view, you can just toggle it. So this is how it would appear. You can take a printout. So if you have a printer connected to your computer, you can just take a physical hard copy of this. Or maybe if you want to send this over as an email, so you can even click on the email button and then mention the email address of the particular vendor. So this would be the body of the email, which you can always have it customized. So this is the default email template, but you can always have it customized as per your requirements. And the purchase order would be attached as a PDF copy, and then you can send it. So I'm now issuing this purchase order. So it has now been issued. Now I'll be waiting for these products to reach my warehouse. So let us assume that the products have reached physically to my warehouse. So I will have to move it from my initial warehouse to my store. I'll select the item name. So if you can see, the source has 5, the destination has none. So I'm moving 5 units of each item to the destination. So it is prompting me to select the serial number of the items that are being moved. So I'm going to move all these 5. I'm hitting on save. So quantity is fine. I'm deciding to move the entire batch of items. You can choose to do the same for the transfer order number too. Just like what we did for the purchase order and sales order numbers, you can either create a sequence of numbers or you can enter it manually each and every time. That would be it. So the stocks would have successfully been transferred from the main warehouse to the individual warehouse now. You can go here. You can see that my store, the retail location, has 5 stock on hand now. So from the warehouse, it got deducted and it got added back to my retail store. So now I've successfully moved it. So I have 5 individual battery units lying around in my store and 5 individual camera units lying around. So it's time for me to put them together. So I'll have to assemble it myself so that my customers can be provided with this assembled units. So I'm going to assemble them together. For that, I'll go to composite items, and then I'll click on the plus new button, which is present on the top right corner, which we did earlier. So since we've already created, it's time for us to bundle it. So since we have already defined the system about the name of the assembly or what are the items that would go under it, it is now time for us to create the bundle. So click on the create bundle button on the top right corner. And then if you can see this particular field which says quantity to bundle, you can have quick disclaimers. So system automatically calculates the stock level of the individual units, and it is telling me, okay, Gina, with the available raw materials, you can create 5 units from the available stock. So 5 complete assemblies or 5 final goods, 5 finished goods can be created with the available stock level. Okay, so let's assume I'm needing to create all those 5. So you can select all the serial numbers that are used in this particular coupling process. Okay, so now I'm going to tell the system that 5 units of camera battery and 5 units of camera units has to be assembled or coupled together or bundled together to create 5 final individual assemblies of this camera one. If there is any description, you can do that. Or maybe if there is any additional item that has to be added, maybe a charger cable or maybe any other individual displays or sensors or lens, you can even add that. Now I'm going to save this. That's it. So now the bundle has successfully been created. If you can see, 5 units of camera battery and 5 units of camera units, and all those 5 serial numbers involved are mentioned here. So the stock level of this individual camera battery and individual camera unit would have gone down, while the stock level of the final camera main bundle, they would have gone up. Now I'll show you the stock level, so you should be getting a good idea. If you can see, after bundling, the stock level of this final composite item, that is the main bundle, it has risen up by 5. From 0 it came to 5. And if you visit the stock level of the individual items, it would have gone back to 0. So from 5 it went back to 0. So the system understood that they were picked up from their locations and bundled them together. So the stock level of these items would have gone down. So we would suggest you always create bundles whenever the assembly or whenever a manufacturing process or whenever a combo products is being created. Maybe if you create a gift pack consisting of multiple items of multiple values, you can just do this. You can also do this whilst creating a sales transaction on the go. So it's not mandatory that you should create the bundles beforehand and then proceed to the sales transaction. You can always have them done on the go while creating a sales transaction also. So you can do it on demand basis and not as a premium. So maybe you can try creating this particular purchase order that I instructed you about. I would suggest you create an initial purchase order, convert that purchase order into a purchase receipt, convert that purchase receipt into a bill, and associate a payment. And then you can visit the item details to see the individual stock level fluctuations. I shall wait until then. So please do take your own considerable amount of time and have it done. I would suggest you pay keen attention to the physical and the accounting stock level so that you can get a very good idea on what happens when a purchase receipt is being created and what happens when a purchase bill is being created. So please take your own time. I shall be waiting until then. I just forgot to tell you this. So you can even follow this particular order. So it's not mandatory that you should be creating a purchase receipt beforehand. You can even create a bill and then you can create a purchase receipt at a later point of time. And the one that I showed you, the entry of serial numbers, what happened while I created the purchase receipt. So when I created the purchase receipt from my vendors, I created or associated the serial numbers to it. You can have it done while creating a bill too. So there would be a settings, a particular provision under the settings menu, wherein you can tell the system that you would be needing to enter the serial numbers only when you create a bill. So you'll have the liberty to select at what stage you want to enter the serial number. So you can either enter it to bills or you can enter it through purchase receipts. If your business process does not involve an individual purchase order, you can bypass that particular step. You can skip the creation of a purchase order. You can quickly jump to the creation of bills. So maybe if you think that would be too complex for you to create a purchase order and then create a purchase receipt, you can just completely ignore them and then you can directly go with a purchase bill directly. So I think I can move on to the next module. So which would be the sales. So now everything has been done. We purchased the products, we stocked them up in my warehouse, we moved it to my personal store, we had them bundled. So now we are waiting for the customer orders to be placed. So whenever a customer approaches you personally and requests for a particular product, you can just create a sales order. So sales order is the preliminary transactional document which would initiate a sales process, just like how you would create a purchase order. So you would create a sales order. You would mention all the details of the items that you are going to sell to your customer, the quantity, the price for which you would be selling, the tax details, the discounts, the shipment fee, and everything can be mentioned in the sales order. You can just send them out as an email, and then you can just convert once that a sales order is being approved by your customer. Once he gives the green flag for the particular sales action, you can just convert that sales order into an invoice, and then you can get the amount of money that you will have to receive for this particular sale from the vendor, and then associate that payment that you received to this invoice. That would be it. So now financially you have completed the sales process. Since the fulfillment is yet to be done, so you'll have to pack it. You can create a package and then you can ship it through your local shipping provider, or maybe major players like FedEx, and then you can even create shipment labels, and that would be it. So you start with a sales order, you convert that sales order into a package, and then you ship it, and finally you then create an invoice for the amount that the customer owes you, and then you seal the deal. So I'll quickly show you how you can create an initial sales action in Zoho Inventory. So you go to the sales orders, which is present in the left pane. You click on create sales orders. You click on the drop down, select the customer name. Maybe if it's a walk-in customer, if the customer walks instantly to your brick and mortar store, and if he asks for this particular item, you can instantly add it on the go. So you needn't go back to the customer module to create the customer once again. You can just create the customer directly on the fly in the sales order creation screen itself. So now that the customer has been created, you can just mention all the other details such as the expected shipment date, the delivery method, the warehouse from which the product has to be taken, and everything. So since this is my primary warehouse, my store, I'm selecting this warehouse. I'm selecting the camera bundle. So the main bundle I'm going to sell, I'm selecting that particular item. This is where the barcode scanning comes in real handy. So you needn't type the entire item name while searching for it, or you needn't use the SKU. Just focus the barcode scanner towards the item barcode. System would automatically recognize that, okay, this is the item which is being scanned, and it would instantly be added. So you can use this. Maybe if you want this Zoho Inventory to serve as a POS, you can even do that. So similar to the ones that you see in departmental stores, or maybe other shopping markets, you can just add items in bulk. So you can quickly scan your items, be it a RFID scanner or maybe a barcode scan. You can just quickly scan all the items, and they would get added on top of them each and every time. So the first instance, when you scan a camera bundle, one unit would be added here, and at the next moment the same camera bundle is being scanned, it would automatically increment the value to 2. So you can instantly scan and add all your items to this transaction. And under this quantity column, you can see that you have 5 boxes on hand. The stock on hand will give you a quick heads up on how much you currently have. So I'm deciding to sell just 3 of it at this particular rate. The tax rate is automatically being populated, and then you can just save it. So if there are any terms and conditions, payment terms, all those information can be mentioned in this particular text box. If it is a pre-made text which would be followed for all your transactions, so if it's uniform for all your sales transactions, you can create them in your settings menu. It would get automatically populated. You can save much more time, and you can save and confirm it. So you can just go through all the information and then you can save it. So now my sales order has successfully been created. I can convert this into an invoice for registering the payment from my customer. So I can just click on convert to invoice. It would take me to the invoice creation page. All the information which were present in the sales order screen would automatically be populated over here. You can also create an instant invoice. So if you click on the instant invoice option here, you can just skip the particular page, and the invoice can be created instantly. So as you can see, the invoice is now being created in the draft status, and there is a due of 1,575 dirhams from that particular customer. So I go to that invoice. The customer is giving me the payment. I can record the payment. I can either enter a partial value or the entire value. If it just gives me a part of the payment, I can mention that here, the payment mode, the deposit to which account it has to be deposited. And then you can click on the record payment button. So the payment has successfully been registered with this particular invoice. And if you quickly go back to that particular item, to the main bundle, you can see that the accounting stock would have gone down to 3. So initially it was 5. When I created an invoice, system automatically understood that financially it has been sold. So the accounting stock, it fell down from 5 to 2. But the physical stock is still in 5 since we haven't created a package or a shipment. We can go back to the same sales order so that we can fulfill it. If you can see this blimp, it would give you a good idea. So it has been completely invoiced. A partial payment has been made. It has not yet been packed and not shipped yet. So you click on the sales order, and then you can just go to the packages tab. You can click on new package. So once you've packed it, you can just click on save. So once the packing has successfully been done, we can ship it. So there are 2 methods of shipping present within Zoho Inventory. One is the manual shipment method, and the other one would be the ship through carrier. So if you would be doing the fulfillment by yourself, or maybe if it's just a walk-in sale and you just instantly hand it over to your customer, you can just instantly mark it as fulfilled over here. Or if it's done through a shipment, if the shipment is done through a carrier, maybe if you would be doing it through FedEx, DHL, UPS, or UL. So you can just instantly click on ship via carrier, and you can generate a shipping label. You can stick it up on your package, and then the shipment provider would personally visit your place, pick the package, and he would have the fulfillment done on your behalf. So you can select the most preferred one from these 2 options. So for time being, I'm clicking on ship manually, and then the package that has to be shipped is populated here, the shipment order number, the date on which it is being shipped, and then you can select the carrier through which it is being shipped. So you can just select a local carrier or maybe FedEx or DHL. So whatever be the name of the carrier, you can mention that over here, and then you can mention the tracking ID that has to be associated with this particular shipment. Maybe if you would like to track the exact physical location or the physical whereabouts of that particular package while it's on the move, you can enable the integration with AfterShip. Zoho Inventory would instantly pass the tracking ID to the AfterShip server, and AfterShip in turn would get the status of the particular package from your shipment provider, and it would constantly update inside Zoho Inventory. So you can even choose to have that particular integration done. That would be even more comprehensive, and it would give you a very good knowledge on the particular fulfillment status. So if you can say it's in the ship status, the package name, the date on which it was shipped, the tracking ID. So once that is delivered, you can click on mark as delivered, and you can even send delivery notification email to your customer. You can click on proceed. That would be it. So now it got delivered. If you go back to the previous sales order, it has been packed and shipped and everything. If you go back to the item to inspect the stock level, see, the physical stock has now dropped to 2. So create a shipment, the stock level will go down, the physical stock level. Create an invoice, and the accounting stock level would also go down. So this is not a rigid workflow that you would definitely have to follow. You can always bypass the creation of sales order or bypass the creation of a package and a shipment. You can instantly tell the system that it has been fulfilled. So it will always be customizable. Please do reach out to us for further assistance. Our team can definitely help you in designing the workflow that would be the best one for you. So we do also have a sales return module. So maybe if a particular camera unit that was sold, if that was subjected to particular malfunctioning, you can always create a sales return. You can physically receive it, and then you can create a credit note for the sales return that was done. So now I created a sales return for the 3 units that were sold, and I physically receiving it. So the customer is handing me over the 3 units that were faulty. I'm clicking on receive. So I received it. And then I can just convert this receive into a credit note. The stock level would again go up. So I physically received the faulty goods. I provided the credit note to him. Now I can either create a cash refund. So the amount that he paid me, since he has returned me the product, I can either click on more and click on refund, or I can apply it to one of his future invoices or previous historical invoices. So the credits would still be remaining here. I can use it for future transactions. So if you can see that here, the unused credits would be mentioned here. You can use it for future transactions or apply it to already existing sales transactions, or maybe initiate an instant cash refund and clear it. So this is how you can effectively do a sales transaction in Zoho Inventory. You start with a sales order, convert that into an invoice, package, shipment, and everything. So both order fulfillment and your accounting related propaganda would be taken care at the same time. So now maybe you can take your own time to replicate this particular process. I would suggest you create a sales order and then package, ship it, create an invoice, associate the payment, and view the stock level changes. I shall be waiting until then. You can always choose to select from which warehouse the particular item has to be deducted. So since I'm selling it from my main warehouse, I selected the store warehouse name while creating the invoice. So maybe if it's a direct fulfillment from your main warehouse, you can even select that. So make sure that you select the warehouse from which you're doing this. So you can just click on, you can switch between this radio button. So when I select this particular warehouse, it instantly tells me that I have 0 stock on hand. And when I select on the retail store's name, it's telling me 5 on hand. So you can choose to select from which warehouse the product is to be shipped. And maybe if you would like to get receive payments through online payment gateways, you can always do that. You can set up payment gateway. We have integration with major global providers, Stripe, PayPal, and Authorize.net. So you can have your account integrated with this particular invoice module. So when you click on save and send, what would happen is a link with which the customer can make the payment would be sent. So your customer would get this. So you can click on this link. It would take him to the payment gateway page. So he or she can enter the credit card details and net banking details and then make the payment online. And the magic here would happen automatically. So the status would get changed to automatically paid from draft. So it's not mandatory that you should have a manual intervention here. Since this is being done through an online provision, whenever the payment is done through the online payment gateways, the status here would get changed automatically. And this would also save you a very huge amount of time. Just like we mentioned earlier about the purchase order process, you can even bypass or neglect the creation of a sales order. If you think that the invoice statement is what you're looking for, invoice, if you're only concerned about that, worry not. You can completely skip the creation of a sales order, directly go to invoices and create your transaction. Maybe if you would like to create package, create a shipment and track the package and the shipment status. In that case, I would suggest you to create a sales order. So the sales order would come into play. It would be of critical importance when you would need the order fulfillment to happen. What happens if you are integrating with Shopify or Zoho Commerce? It's exactly the same one, but the sales orders would get synchronized automatically to this particular module. If you go to the integrations tab, you should be seeing the options that are available for you. So maybe if you are integrated with any online e-commerce marketplaces, you can have all your sales orders directly synchronized into Zoho Inventory's sales order module. You can instantly bifurcate them, or you can instantly classify them through this marketplace sales order. You can instantly click it, convert it into a package and ship it. So the moment a customer places an order in your online store, it would be synchronized here into Zoho Inventory. In the next 30 minutes, you can just create a package, ship it out. So all it takes is just 30 minutes, the lead time for you to have this fulfillment done. If you are okay with the manual sync, the sales order would be brought in here instantly. You can do all the things over here. Stock level would be pushed from Zoho Inventory into your online marketplaces. So let us consider this scenario where you would be employing both online and offline sales. So you also have this offline retail store and an online store. So if you have 10 units of a particular camera present in your particular offline store, and if someone orders for 5 in your online store, it would come here. You would process all the transactions here in Zoho Inventory. So from 10, the stock level would fall down to 5. And this 5, this stock level fluctuation, this drop in stock level would be communicated across all your sales channels. So maybe you might have a Shopify or a Zoho Commerce, Etsy, or a WooCommerce store. Although the sales is happening in one Shopify store, it is the responsibility of Zoho Inventory to notify this across all your sales channels so that a uniform stock level is maintained across all your marketplaces. This would prevent overselling. So you can prevent overselling and a uniform and an authentic stock level maintained across all your sales channels. So even if it's an offline sale, when a customer walks into your store and if you sell 5 units, this will be notified to all your online marketplaces and they would appear the authentic stock levels. So what happens after the sales and purchase? Maybe at the end of the day, or maybe at the end of the week, or at the end of the month, Gina might have to report this to her superiors. She might have to submit records or reports to her manager. Or maybe if she would like to get a deeper insight on which item was sold the most, or what is the current stock level, she can use the reports module. So Zoho Inventory has a huge armada of reports module. It's very, very insightful. You can see there is a sales report module. You can view a sales by customer report, a sales by item report. You can customize it. You can apply custom filters. You can just generate the report based on the time period. So sky is the limit here. So you can have a very good complex reports being generated and analyzed. We have a FIFO cost tracking report. This would be the one-stop solution to have all your reporting requirements. So you can have all the receivables related reports, the payables, the sales channel, the purchase reports. Everything can be obtained from this particular screen. You can even take an export of all these reports in the desired format. So maybe if you would like to print it out, or maybe if you would like to take it an export in the form of a spreadsheet file, so that if you would like to play around with it, you can just export them in the form of your desired format. That would be it. Apart from these functionalities, so the ones that I told you are the most preliminary or the basic functionalities that would help you get started with Zoho Inventory. We do have much more complex functionalities, so which would be of great amusement to you. We have back ordering, we have drop shipment, we have customized templates. So maybe if you would be a drop shipper, if you would be directly sending out your products to your customer. The vendor would be directly fulfilling it you on your behalf. You can even do that. So you can tell the system that okay, so this sales order has to be drop shipped, and if you would be doing back orders, so only on demand basis, if you would be stocking up your products, you can use the back order functionality and customize templates. So the one that I showed you was preliminary, but worry not, we have a huge selection of templates available. It's up to you to decide the completely look and feel of your template. So you can create, you can go to settings, you can go to templates, you can click on the plus new button. So you can select the most desired one from this. You can add or delete columns. You can choose to do whatever you want. So you can select the font size, the color, the appearance, how it would appear the table. Maybe if there's a custom footer content that has to be added, you can even do that. So an inch by inch customization of templates is completely possible with the help of Zoho Inventory's custom template modules, be it your sales orders, invoices, credit notes, purchase orders. Everything can be modified as per your expectations. And email templates. So while you send emails, you can choose how the body of the email should read. So you can input your own customized newsletters. So it's not that you should have a skeletal text present already always. You can use HTML to embed your own coding over here. You can just type in your custom text. You can introduce custom placeholders so that you customize, so that you can have a personal touch or an affiliation done with regards to your customer emails. And then you can set up automated email alerts, and you can choose to receive or send email alerts based on a particular condition. So if someone hasn't paid you for a longer time, or if you would like to send a reminder emails 10 days once an invoice is being generated, you can create an email alert. So there is a huge sea of option when it comes to automation. So you can choose to receive notifications here in the notification center. You can choose to receive email alerts. You can choose to have custom field updates done. Maybe you can set a primary criteria or a condition based on which a particular field has to be updated automatically. So automations and customizations can be done with effect with through this particular module. I would suggest you, if you have any customization requests, or maybe if you have any automation requests, please do approach our support team. We have a dedicated customization team who would receive your workflow, and we would design a particular workflow coding, and we would deploy it specifically and dedicate it for to you, so that you can save a lot of time in managing your orders and item stock levels. And deal with multiple currencies. This is something we are a specialist in. So you can have multiple currencies created. So be it wherever the customer or vendor, be it wherever from the world he is positioned. So you can create all the currencies. You can just enable the exchange rate feed, and everything would be maintained in a very good, insightful manner over here. What about other Zoho applications that can integrate with Zoho Inventories? Or the Zoho Inventory can be the perfect standalone solution that you're looking for. We do have a very good watertight integration, smooth and hassle-free integration with other Zoho application, be it Zoho CRM, Zoho Books, Zoho Analytics. Yes, maybe if you would like to forecast your sales, forecast stock updates, you can integrate with Zoho Analytics, create your own data tables, and custom or complex reports can be integrated and obtained with the help of Zoho Analytics and Zoho Books. I can call Zoho Books as the rightful sibling of Zoho Inventory. Zoho Inventory and Zoho Books go hand in hand. Whatever transaction, stock manipulation that you do in Zoho Inventory would be pushed into Zoho Books. You can quickly go to books.zoho.com to generate profit or loss reports, a chart of accounts, make manual journal adjustments. So if Zoho Inventory takes care of your inventory related operations, Zoho Books would take care of all the taxation, filing, all the other VAT related functionalities. So the Zoho Books edition for the Middle East is comprehensive, and it can serve Zoho Books and Zoho Inventory going hand in hand would be a lethal weapon with maintaining your business. So I would definitely suggest you to take a look at Zoho CRM, Zoho Books, and the integration with Zoho Analytics and Zoho Click. It comes in handy whenever a sales order is created. Maybe if an online sales order is created in your Shopify store, if you wish to receive a message through Zoho Click. Zoho Click is the messaging platform which can serve as a substitute for WhatsApp and other internal messaging application. So you can create a channel dedicated for all your employees, add them up to that particular channel. So whenever an order is created, you would get a notification with the Zoho Click. You can instantly click on that link. It would be hyperlinked and it would directly take you to the Zoho inventory screen, so you can quickly fulfill it. So you needn't waste a lot of time. And maybe if you would like to raise support tickets, transfer, and if you would like to track any support tickets for all the sales return process that you've done, you can even choose to integrate with Zohodesk, which will be of very great help to you. Zoho Commerce is another value advantage added integration that you can do alongside Zoho Inventory. So if you are a new retailer who hasn't yet had any online stores, and if you would like to start a store online business in the near future, I would suggest you after this session, please do take a look at Zoho Commerce. You can create the storefront with the help of Zoho Commerce, just like how you can create it through Shopify or any other marketplace. Connect Zoho Commerce with Zoho Inventory. Creating orders would happen in Zoho Commerce. It would be pushed into inventory. Order fulfillment and stock management would be taking place in inventory. So inventory would be a very great help or a very good tool to help you with all your online management when it comes to Zoho Commerce. And this is something which will be of very great help when there are on-field sales agents. Maybe if you have a sales agent or a purchase manager who would be touring across the globe, or maybe if they would be on the move, you can give them access to Zoho Inventory's Android and iOS applications. So almost all the things that you can do in the web application can be achieved through this particular mobile version. So the salesperson can be on the move, and when he meets or greets a particular vendor or a customer, he can quickly open up his mobile device, create the transaction. The moment he clicks on save button, it would be available in the web application also. So it would be available in a jiffy. So you can sit at a single place from your office or from your home. You can keep a track on what your salespersons are doing. So you can even, whenever you're on the move, you can quickly pull up your mobile phone, see the sales status. You can easily track all the customer details, and everything would be concentrated and present into your screen. So the Android application and the iOS application is something I would suggest you to get to have access. Okay, so I think I've covered almost all the major functionalities and provisions in Zoho Inventory. Let us have a quick recap on all the things that we've discussed. So we started off with what Zoho Inventory can do for you, and then we created items, composite items, bundlings, we created contacts, we created vendors, and then started the purchase process: purchase order, purchase receipt, purchase bill, payments received. And then we moved the purchase products from one warehouse to another. Then a customer approached us for a sale. So we created a sales process. We started off with a sales order, then we converted it into a package. We converted it into a shipment. We took care of the fulfillment part. And then for receiving the money from my customer, we created an invoice. We provided the invoice to the customer. We received the payment. We then recreated it in our systems. And that would be it. So I think you all got a very good insight on what Zoho Inventory can do for you. I would suggest you drop in your comments and questions into the questions tab right away. Then we have dedicated agents who would be waiting to help you out. And at the same time, I would suggest you can send all your emails to support.emea@zohoinventory.com. So we will be having a very good support team who can help you with all your queries. Maybe if you are a new customer who haven't yet been onboarded into Zoho Inventory, we have a dedicated pre-sales team who can help you with a full-fledged demonstration of the product right from the scratch. We would walk you through the product. We would get your data. We would have them imported into Zoho Inventory. So you can also send an email to presales@zohoinventory.com if you would like to have a dedicated one-on-one discussion, and we would let you know which subscription plan would be of help to you. We'll be helping you with a smooth onboarding process. I would have to thank you from the bottom of my heart. So it really gave me an immense pleasure helping you people through this particular seminar session. We have multiple seminars coming up with regards to all Zoho products. So I would suggest you visit the webpage zoho.com/r/seminars.html. And these are our contact numbers. So if you're from South Africa, or if you're from the African region, you can reach out to our office personally. And this is our Dubai number. So you can have always a telephonic conversation with our agents. Or please do keep an eye on our YouTube channel, Facebook. We are active on LinkedIn and Instagram, followed by Twitter. So please do keep an eye on our updates. We will be constantly shelling out announcements, product updates, seminar updates. And thanks a lot for spending your time on this session.